Hello and welcome to Wandering Nigeria, and this is the headline this morning, 6th of May 2025. My name is VeryDarkMan. It's good to be once more. Let's talk about the headlines or the news making the headlines in Nigeria today. We're still on the VDM issue, and the VDM is one making the headlines across the nation. And protests left the center in Abuja today over his arrest. I just think that the government are emboldening the video, because when it comes out from this, at the end of the day, this guy will be emboldened because he has gotten a lot of support. He has gotten a lot of support because that is exactly what Peter Obi mentioned yes on Sunday in his Facebook post, that this guy is got a lot of support. The banks like GTB are going to get a downturn, and this is what is happening. There is a down for GTB, and sorry to say, they will be affected. They will be affected whether they like it or not. And we see a lot of people removing the money from GTB starting from yesterday. It's going to affect them whether they like it or not. This is the kind of backlash GTB, because it happened in the provinces of GTB, and people feel that GTB are involved in this conspiracy that involves the arrest of VDM. So, if you think GTB are involved in this conspiracy, let's move on. So follow the story, the VDM story, and how a lot of video out there, but I just out this one. Let's see this one. Let's add this one to. Let's add this one to. Oh, let's see. So this is the.
We are here to tell GTB Bank because we have noticed a conspiracy. There was a conspiracy on Friday between GT Bank and whatsoever the government agency. We don't know whether it's EFCC, although many have opinion that VDBs on EFCC the VDM, but up to now there was no press statement, there was no press release, there was no statement from either DSS or EFCC, whether EFCC is their custody or not. What we'll be hearing is rumor, and at the same time, the manner in which VDM was kidnapped, because VDM was not arrested. There's no way you come to arrest somebody, a Nigerian citizen, if it's so popular like VDM, without any arrest warrant, no arrest warrant, no invitation, no text message, and you came to smuggle him inside car, inside vehicle. If that thing wouldn't have casted, then VDM wouldn't have been alive today. They came to kidnap VDM, and we knew that these people are government officials because there are people who don't want progress in this country. There are people who don't want goodness in this country. There are people who don't love the youth, and we know them. They are the enemies of youth. GTB has conspired with government agency to eliminate VDM on Friday. They should just make sure that that conspiracy is reversed in order for them to free VDM. That's why we are here.
We are here in respect of VDM kidnapped. He was kidnapped on the 2nd of May, and we are demanding immediate release of VDM. VDM is not a criminal. If GTB or the federal government feel that he has committed any offense, they have all the time, all the apparatus to invite him or to call him.
Yeah.
Not kidnap him at this very point. So what we are demanding for unconditional release of VDM. Nothing but that is it. The government have refused to issue any statement, not even the EFCC. And we were told that he was brutally beaten. I was taken away in a commando form. GTB Bank were the one who who mandated or who planned or who collaborate with government agencies to make sure that VDM is kidnapped. So, and that is why we are here to demand for VDM to be released.
Okay. So this was yesterday in Abuja, and the protesters are demanding for an immediate release of VDM. And I'll have a story in regards to the release. I have a story in regards to that. We'll talk about it pretty soon. But this is where we are in a nation where anarchy, where lawlessness, where impunity reigns. You just kidnap somebody. If you want, if you do you want an arrest warrant, this is not the way to just snatch somebody on the street and take him, cover his head and take him. And I don't understand. This country needs to understand the leaders of this country, people governing this country at the moment needs to understand that the rule of law is the only thing that will save this country. I am telling you, not even our economy, but the rule of law. When people are satisfied with the rule of law, when people are satisfied with the actions of government, when people are satisfied with the action of the elite, then they will be they will be harmless in the nation. People will not even look at the economy because they know that everything will fall in place. Or in a situation whereby I have a elite that do not obey the rule of law, do not respect people's right. VDM is supposed to release. This is more than 72 hours now that he has been arrested. And according to the law, you should not keep somebody in jail. You should not arrest somebody when it's more than you have to release him. You know that this is what is going on. Impunity everywhere in Nigeria. And people have to speak out. You, me, if you have a platform, you speak out. And the impunity have to stop. It has to stop. And people have to realize that they have to speak up. People have, they need their voice to speak up. If not so, today it's you, tomorrow it will be VDM. So that is why these guys are coming out in mass. There are many videos out there, but this is the one I think it is much more important for us to see and speak about. And let's see how it's gonna go today. Because for today, an insider in the EFCC have just said that VDM will be released, and he will be released, and also he will be charged to court as today with multiple counts of charges. What have they been waiting for? I think this, like I said, boils down to the way the EFCC and our security agencies operate. And for me, that is why we have not been able to defeat insurgency. No investigation, no proper planning, no proper reconnaissance in terms of how we fight insurgency, no proper planning in terms of how we go ahead and gather information to arrest somebody. I don't just understand. You just that's the person. Why is it being kept in jail? Why is it being kept? Why was even being arrested in that? We have people that have committed worse crime than him. If it is perceived he has committed war, look at Abakari. Where is he? He's in the Kuje prison. He was supposed to be indicted, but some people are just covering for him. Look at him; he's still there, and we know his crime. What did this young man? What? And that is why for me, Showore was right. It was spot on. Showore was really spot on with regards to what he said. That you cannot charge him. You cannot charge him for those charges that were brought in terms of my goodness. This country is so sad that we are going towards that direction. towards this direction. Because it's gradually turning into something else. And for me, I agree with what Shimon said. We need to be very careful. We need to be so that we don't slide completely into anarchy. We don't slide completely into what it is supposed to be. So this is what Shimon said. Let me see if I can play this one. Let me see if I can play this. So this is what Shimon said. As to arrest charges of so this is what Shimon said. That's what Shimon said. You cannot arrest him.
We came for one of the cybercrime attacks, and we just wanted to brief you as usual. When you see us in court, we don't want you to be guessing why we are in court. We are here always to pursue justice for ourselves and others. And the law people always ask when they see us talk about just not what is happening in court, but what is happening generally in social justice in the country. The case today was former PDP senator, now APC senator, so the court as usual, and it was very short one. The prosecutor was looking for finding, so it's working on it. But our lawyers know the work from him. Also been fighting behalf of farmers and stuff. We know a lot of us who are interested in the case of Vincent, who's been detained by ICC. Position is very clear. The EFCC cannot prosecute people for crimes that borders on position. So they have serious matters beyond just that. That's a different matter. I've asked the EFCC.
So the EFCC cannot prosecute VDM, Michael Vincent Oshie. That's his real name, on the matters that borders on what did they even say on online bullying, cyber harassment. The EFCC it is not the jurisdiction of the EFCC. The EFCC work is to fight financial crime, both in and out of Nigeria. Is to look for those guys that have been taking people's money away and return money back to the individual. That is the job of the EFCC. But are they doing that? No. They are moving to other jurisdictions. And for me, it's pity when you have when you have an organization losing its mandate, losing its core mandate. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. Let's see what will happen as the story develops there. Let's see what will happen. I hope that justice prevail at the end of the day for VDM and for his family as well. I think it's all about, for me, it's all about justice. It's all about being positive the way you handle matter. This government are not being prudent. Okay, let's go to the next story. This one will interest you. Politics still riding on 2027 presidential election. Bola urges Atiku to abandon 2027 presidential ambition. Now he's telling his former boss to abandon the 2027 presidential ambition. We know Bola was formerly in the APC and he moved in 2023 to support Atiku and he became Atiku's spokesman. But after the election, some happened left, right, center. He got broke a little bit and he needed money. For me, that is what it is. He needed money, he got broke. It was all about stomach infrastructure for him. And he jumped back to the APC in Tinubu's camp, even national advisor by the president. And now he has come out to say that Atiku should forget about his presidential ambition. I think people, for me, I think my response to Daniel Bola is that everybody has an ambition. People will keep on having ambition from now to the end of the world. So people will keep on having ambition. People will keep on fighting until they see that things are going the proper way. At least be done in the proper way. That's my question to Daniel Bola. At least done in the proper way. Is Nigeria much more better off compared to what it was in 2005, 2010, when you had the PDP? So Nigeria was better off. The questions I really want to ask Mr. Bola to tell us. Those are the questions. For me, if he cannot answer that question, then he should forget about it. So let's look at he spoke to journalists yesterday. That's to this story. So let's see what he said in regards to that. There's a short clip. A short clip to that. So let's see if we can bring you that video. So let's see. I think we have the video. Sorry. So this is what he said.
Realignments and coalition moves. The political terrain.
But what makes the opposition unique is when the opposition have an alternative plan, when they engage constructively and intelligently, when they are able to bring their own records to the Nigerian people, and their record is so tempting and so sure Nigeria will want them to come. Unfortunately, the opposition will have in this part of this world don't seem to have an idea of what they are of. But since the Constitution says you can run for office, they are up and running. Take, for example, if you look at their engagement in the last 2 years, not a single one of them has come up with issue and address this government issue by issue, which is what you see in claims. Let's say in the economy, they will, our own application of the economic principle is incorrect because of A, B, and C. Or on the security, they will say that. But the opposition will have now aiding and abetting insecurity, aiding and abetting all kinds of things. But for you to even come together and form a position that is strong enough to unseat a sitting president, you must first of all do your background work. In order for you to even do the background work, you must also make sure that you are marketable. Which one among the opposition parading themselves up and down as people with better alternatives can say that they are marketable, can say that they are wanted, can say that that's why we naturally don't want to talk much about politics. We refuse to be dragged into it because we know when that time comes, we are going to bring facts by fact. Because what I actually call them association of wild goose chasers, individuals who are not like a clap of thunder out of a blue sky, individuals who necessarily do not have any plan, but they feel that it is their right at this time to get the power. Some of whom probably defeated the previous government and they are not in government now and they want to be in government by all means. Or some of them who they just feel that it is in their DNA to rule, but they don't have to have an idea.
So Daniel Bola is talking about Atiku because when he said you just feel that it's in their DNA to rule, but you don't have an idea. To be frank, I'm so disappointed in Daniel Bola. But he's a politician, and he puts his money where his mouth. He puts his mouth where the money is. For me, I think it is not. It is the way to go for him, but not the way thinks other people think as well. Let's look at that. Let's look at his history of moving from one place to another. So I think if you are pointing a finger on somebody, you ensure that the remaining five is also pointing at you. The remaining four is also pointing at you. That is really the issue here. The remaining four is also pointing at you. For me, he's speaking where the money is. He's speaking for the money. He's not speaking with facts. That is just it. Yes, is it right to tell Atiku to forget or to abandon his 2027 presidential ambition? In terms of what he's being paid for, yes. But in terms of Atiku's right wrong, I don't think he has that stand. But this is politics, like I keep on saying. Politics is a big game. Politics revolves all around people that want to stay in power, maintain dominance among their peers, and that's this for Bola. I think my warning is we are 2 years before the election. We should really be talking about the elections, because the way the election is being talked about, 2027 election is being talked about, it seems as if it is in 2 months' time. Of you may agree with me. You see individuals crossing from one place to another, cross-carpeting from the APC to the PDP, from the Labour Party to the APC, from PDP to APC, and this is what we have. People are alignment. So people are like I said, in terms of personal benefit, hold their own, and this is what we are. This is what we are seeing now in this country, and it's so sad that it is happening. That the masses are being forgotten. The economic crisis that we know it's a challenge for each and every one of Nigerians. Monetary policy is nowhere near what we used to know in the country. The naira is failing. People are just crying and clamoring for something to hold on to financially. People barely eat 3 times in a day, not to talk about 3 times in a day, not to even talk about one time in a day as well. And this is what is going on in the country. So politicians will always have their say. They will always talk. It is left for us to take this whole issue. We go to court. We go to the ballot. Sorry, we go to the ballot and cast our votes. Flush out people that want them in the system, and let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. So before we take our last, let's begin to react. Let's begin to pour out our messages, our comments on the comment section, and I'll read them out there. If you have something for us, please put out your comment. I'm just waiting for comments. We got one yesterday for the first time. I hope to get like 2 or 3 today, this morning, before I call it a day. And I trust that those are our esteemed viewers that are watching us. We'll send a message. Let's go to the last story of the day. Arise News response to Dr. Sandra Duru's claim. Now remember that this lady came out to claim that the senator from Kogi Central, Senator Natasha, also wants to pin on Senate President that the Senate President is what they call it, a hamster. That was what she said. She said it was, and she claimed that it was Natasha. Natasha said that when they met somewhere in the US, and things happened, blah 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 blah. We all follow the story on our Facebook page. Now, she came out and after she made some address with regards to Arise Television, that Arise News. Why is that the news is granting Natasha hearing a hearing to speak on this issue? But I think I'm really happy with the way Arise Television or Arise News handled the whole issue. Because normally as a TV station, you're not supposed to respond, but you're supposed to give clarity to what your station stands for. Because if you look at Arise News, they were at the forefront of this story. Yes, not just them, including channels as well who granted Natasha interview. Arise also granted Natasha interview, and also granted the Abuja side interview as well. Even more than Natasha. So this is where we are. And she was saying she doesn't know why Arise Television always. And this is what. Let's just watch the video. I like this.
Based Nigerian activist Sandra Duru alleged that suspended Kogi Central Senator Natasha Akpo-Uduaghan offered her 200 million naira to falsify or falsely accuse Senate President Godswill Akpabio of organ harvesting. Duru, who goes by the name Professor Mbeke on Facebook, made the allegations during a live session on the platform. She alleged that Natasha admitted to having no evidence of sexual harassment against Akpabio and wants to force his resignation. The activist also claimed that Natasha recruited a former Minister of Education, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, and Arise News to her bidding, insisting that Natasha is on a mission to destroy men. Let's take a look.
Natasha told me bluntly, she said, babe, there was nothing like sexual harassment. I was shocked. When she now started explaining things to me, in the course of the explanation, she was so relaxed. She was so calm. She opened up a lot of things to me. Our conversation wasn't just one or two, which the security agencies have already verified. And she was bold enough to tell me that she has paid Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, that she recruited Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, that's not a big deal, I can do it. I said, did you tell Dr. Obi that these things are not true? She said, they know. We are women. We can't let these men be doing this for us. We have to fight. Let's just use gender-based whatever. She now said, it didn't happen. I don't have evidence. That's why I sent Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, Sister Abiola or Dr. Abiola and Fida. You were recruited, that she recruited useful idiots, women that can speak and be heard. You are now Natasha's useful idiots. And she was wondering why I cannot join her on Arise TV to do the same thing. And the question is, why always Arise TV? She said she has bought over, she has bought them.
She has bought over Arise TV.
Vimba,
Yeah.
Femi,
Yeah.
these are quite damning allegations. And I could not help but wonder, I mean, now Senator Natasha Akpo-Uduaghan will tell you there's no evidence of sexual harassment. I mean, that actually got me, like, why would she tell you? I mean, do you have some superior being? Are you God? Those were some of the questions. Well, in the meantime, Senator Natasha Akpo-Uduaghan has refuted the claims by Professor Mbeke, and that's her name on Facebook, saying that the activist was acting on behalf of Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Natasha posted a screenshot from the Facebook live session where the activist mistakenly flashed her call log showing Godswill Akpabio's name. Let me take Natasha's post on IG. She wrote in part, the content of the live stream, including voice effect credited to me, are entirely untrue and most manipulated to serve Sandra Duru's ulterior motive of playing the script of Senator Godswill Akpabio, who called 47 minutes into her during her live streams. The attack, that's the footage there, to the best of my knowledge. Those words used against Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, Dr. Abiola, Fida, and Nigerians as gullible and hungry, Yoruba government, etc., are crazy falsehood and did not emanate from the natural cause of any contact involving me. In the nearest of time, I will respond to the unfounded allegations made therein. Natasha went on to post some links of, alleged unscrupulous activities, including fraud and blackmail allegations against the activist, Dr. Sandra Duru. Let me take Obieze Kwesili's tweet. She wrote, once again, Dr. Akpoti, you will never walk alone. I see how my unwavering support for your cry for justice has sent your adversaries into a frenzy, resorting to a desperate, laughable falsehoods. Rest assured, Dr. Bola, the distinguished women of FIDA, and I will continue to stand with you wholeheartedly. Our commitment to this is unshaken, and we will not relent until justice is served. We simply despise injustice and the abuse of power, period. No sensible and decent person who knows my incorruptible track record is deceived by the ridiculous fabrications being peddled by your traducers. They know without a doubt that no amount of money, not even all the wealth in a central bank in the world can buy my convictions, voice, and stance on any matter I choose to support. So, worry not, to Akpoti Uduaha. You will continue to have my unwavering sacrificial support in your resolute fight against Senate President Godswill Akpabio. I mean, people have said that a Rise News channel should respond to being mentioned in the Duty Uduaha allegations. I would like to let you know that we do not respond to such wild and unsubstantiated allegations. Public trust and a platform for all in the pursuit of truth and justice. Rufai, I'd like to come to you this matter. I just thought I should table out our, our side of allegations. We do not respond to such allegations. But it was quite refreshing to see Dr. Obi Ezekwesili respond to Natasha Akpoti Uduaha in such a supportive manner, given that, this video came out, hoping that Obi Ezekwesili will be upset with Natasha Akpoti after all of that, accusing her of saying that, she was what? Is it an idiot or something? A gullible idiot or something. Useful idiot.
Since this matter started, you can play back all of my tapes.
Yes.
What have I said? I'm not saying that is wrong. I'm not saying Natasha is wrong. All I'm saying, they should put evidence forward. And I always put caveats. In a moment of time where Natasha does not have her evidence, I will be the first to do what? To berate her on this platform. You can check through the past tapes. And that's the point I've always reiterated. The talk and the all sorts of rubbish talk here and there. When that incident started first, the first guest that came to speak on that issue, Senator Nwaboye, sat on that chair. He came to speak in favor of Senator Godswill Akpabio. The thing happened today, because I remember the day the altercation happened. I was in Abuja that day. That was the day Babangida's book launch happened. The next day, Nwaboye was here. And we took every side. Both surrogates that came to speak in favor of Senator Akpabio and those that came to speak in favor of Senator Akpoti. We took every side. In fact, I thought we had also speaking in favor of Senator Akpabio on this platform, which are facts that can be verified. Then moving further, all of this rigmarole that happened. And you are hearing, allegations of this and that, and all sorts of allegations being mentioned. Oji, it was crystal clear. We met Natasha on the night of our awards. There's no hiding. It was live on TV. We sat down together. So all sorts of talk. We have to always maintain that every part should be heard.
Absolutely.
Is it also the incident that led to a recall that we exposed here? And our recall failed? And in all of this, we have also seen the accuser, in the bit of showing the phone, also shown that there was a call received by the Senate president and some other senator. A contact.
Contact with that name.
With that name.
Contact with that name.
Yes.
And a contact with other names for another conversation. So that's also out there in part of all of this. On this, we have stood our part. We'll keep on giving voices to everybody possible. I'll keep on asking for the every matter. And I also hear that there was a presidential panel set up to look into this matter. And I hear that Senate President pulled out me. I want the presidential panel to also look at this. Natasha will present her evidence. Senator Kwame should present her evidence. In the case of one family, we come out there, we say it the way it is and berate them.
Yeah, I just have one more sentence to make, which is that I think these are some of the, shall I say, occupational hazards in the era of social media, where people can come out to social media and lay whatever claim they wish to claim, whether it be fact, whether it be not. And my appeal, again, and I've appealed before, is to the judiciary, because these cases in their various capacities are before the courts. And that's where the evidence needs to be provided. And that's where we pray for a transparent and fair process so that we can really get what's truly called justice. This social media back and forth, it's unnecessary.
Yes.
This issue is before the courts, and the various processes, we need to be there every step of the way, holding those processes accountable until it reaches the ultimate conclusion of this case.
Well said. And as always, we at Arise News will continue to follow up on the story and report on it. We need more investigation.
Okay, guys, this is the full video of Arise News Respond reaction to Senator Dr. or Professor Boyke's allegation that Natasha has bought a TV station. But this is where we are. We see other people reacting. Dr. Obi recently, we also see Natasha also react to what he said. But this is where we are as a country. This is what we can do as a country. How much has she also collected from the Senate president? He knows. Like I said, it's all about speaking where the money is. And the money, for me, is with those bidders. So it's with the highest bidder. So she has gone to the highest bidder and collected money and threw out a lot of allegations. In that process, she also exposed herself by flaunting call logs that shows that she received the call from the Senate president 40 minutes or 45 minutes before she started that Facebook Live. So, but this is where we are as a country. And we just need to, when issues like this are happening, for some of us, we have to keep quiet and watch on the fence. For some people, they don't need to, they don't keep quiet. They keep on putting fuel inside the fire to ignite a very fire. But this is where we are. Can you kindly send me your reaction? If you are watching us for the first time, like this video. I just 10 people on this stream now. We have about 30 or few people, 40 people on this stream. I just need 10 people, please, to kindly like this video. Like this video, and if you are here for the first time, please do subscribe. I need 5 subscribers from the 30 people on this stream now. So, but let's talk about your reaction. So, like I said, no reactions from anybody on the stream, but you can send me your reaction. We can talk about it. And you want to talk about the VDM arrest, or we can talk about release today. You also want to talk about Bola. This is Bola. He urges his former boss to resign, to abandon his presidential in 2027 presidential ambition. You also want to talk about a professor, the doctor. I don't even know where to put her. Is he a professor or a doctor? Allegation on Natasha as well, and the Arise News response to her allegation, saying that Natasha has bought the TV station. But this is where we are as a country, as a country, because a lot of things are happening. Instead of these things being channeled to human resource, human capacity in the country, we see it elsewhere, things that affect the people. But like I said, Nigeria Nawa, always Nawa. So this is where we are. It's just where we are. I'm sorry to say it. And guys, responding, keep on responding, we keep on talking, and let's see. We keep on talking, we keep on bringing out the news for us. Our Pondering Nigeria, these are the top headlines we have today, and that's why we're bringing it to you. And we're also talking about it. We are laying facts. So please subscribe to us. Can you subscribe? Subscribe today. Can you subscribe? Can you like the video as well? And then see where it's one of us to build a community gradually. And then you can't build a community without you online. And this is a very wonderful community. I will see you in the next video tomorrow morning by 6:10, where we'll bring you another exciting edition of the Pondering Nigeria. From me and the crew, I'll say thank you very much for watching and listening to us. And hopefully we'll be here tomorrow.